So here we go. So this is a simple drawing exercise which if you use on a daily basis, it could help you with being preoccupied with the past or the future, feeling anxious. Essentially, it's about helping you to stay present in this moment, which actually only exists because the past has already been, the future doesn't exist, and all we have is now. So, I'm going to do something which I don't normally do when I start to paint or draw, but today I'm going to start a new ritual, which is lighting a candle. This is a candle by First Light. They're based in the UK, and this one's called Calm, so I've chosen this one, and it's lavender and ylang-ylang. So you may choose to do something like that as well, and make sure that you're in a room where you've got some peace and quiet. Sometimes you might want to spend 1 minute doing this, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's entirely up to you. All you need is some paper, a pencil. You could use a coloured pencil. You could use a felt tip pen or a marker. You could use a fine liner like this one, or a brush pen, or pastel, whichever. You could even use a biro, so whichever you prefer. Essentially what we're going to do today is we are going to draw our breath. So I'm going to take this marker here. I'm going to use the thick end of it. And for those of you who follow me, you know that the symbol that I work with is the 0. And I've always seen the 0 as a breath, and drawing and painting the 0 over and over and over again has become a meditation for me, and it's been something that I've worked on for the last 10 years. So what I wanted to do today was show you how you could use the 0, or if you didn't want to use a 0, you could use a line. But this is how you can use a really simple shape. You can even use a circle just to draw, so you don't need any art skills whatsoever. And so I'm literally going to draw a 0, but I'm going to center myself, and I'm going to become aware of my breathing. So each breath will then become a drawing of the 0, or yours could be a circle, or it could be a line. But I'm going to start from the center, and then I'm going to work my way out. So eventually my breaths get deeper as well. As you know, when we're stressed or when we're anxious, our breathing goes shallow, and so we don't take deeper breaths. So this is also a way of you being able to learn to take deeper breaths as well. So I'm going to start. So as I'm drawing, I'm also being very conscious of how much pressure I put on the paper. I'm watching the mark that I'm making as well. I'm listening to the sound that the pen is making on the paper as well. I'm looking to see what the colour is coming out as, the tone of the blue as I press harder or as I press lighter. I'm also thinking about how fast I'm going, and obviously how fast I'm going is dependent on my breath. Now of course I'm talking to you at the moment, so it's slightly different. So I'm going to use a pencil for now as well. I'll use a darker one so you can see the different impact it can make. I'll work within. It's a very simple way of being able to focus your mind. Create something beautiful. I'm going to use one of my brush pens. That makes such a different sound. So it's a way of becoming more mindful. Of what's happening with you. I'm going to take this pastel now. I'm not going to talk because I'm going to do a really deep breath now. Remember, a breath is you inhaling and exhaling. And I'm just going to use this fine liner now as well. So nothing is perfect, nothing has to be perfect. This is simply a way of being able to focus your mind on the present. You could, if you wanted to, is do this with your left hand and see what that difference makes. You could also fill in, if you wanted to extend the activity, is to do some drawing and to fill in between the different concentric zeros or circles or lines that you've made, and you can create different patterns. This is a really lovely activity that you can also do with your children. In fact, you could start it off, you could do the breathing, then you can hand this section to them and then they can fill it in and colour it in and create patterns. So whilst you're all in lockdown, you're all working on artwork together. And of course, I've just chosen blues this time, but you could actually choose different colours as well. And at the moment I'm using just standard printing A4 paper, but you could use thicker paper, you could use paint. So there's lots of variations on this as well. So there we go. It's a very simple drawing exercise to help you, I hope, to release any anxiety, to release any worry, simply by focusing on what you're making at the time with no drawing skills required. Let me know how you get on. Stay safe, everyone.